All right, what is this third
Um,
topic you have
the
for
third
us?
topic is the one about the wealth, the danger of vast wealth. Speaking of Elon Musk, um, he he has, and I know like people are saying he's the richest man who ever lived. And look, Caesar Augustus owned all of Egypt as his personal possession,
That's true.
and all of the grain that was grown there, and all the gold and let's not get carried away. But he's certainly one of the wealthiest people that we've had in quite some time. Uh, and like, I'm not really sure why, because he doesn't seem to do anything that makes it, worth having all that money. But anyway, he's got all this money. He's got all these government contracts. Uh, he doesn't already pay taxes. He left California to go to Texas to avoid paying the state tax.
Right.
Uh, because he's just a cheap fucking bastard. Like, doesn't want anybody else to have anything. You know, you can't just break off a piece and at one point, wasn't he going to solve world hunger? Remember that? Remember that
Oh, he
phase?
had a lot of yeah, he had a
Yeah.
lot of
I'm
big
gonna solve
things.
this. You won't even pay your taxes in California, you cheap fuck. Pay your stupid taxes. Like, what's wrong with you? So now he's gonna be in government, and we're not it's gonna be interesting to see how this little tug of war or this human centipede winds up you know, organizing itself, and who's going to be in charge, because I'm not sure if it's Elon or if it's Donald or if it's, I guess it's ultimately it's Putin, but I'm not really sure. But you were talking before about like we haven't had this level of thing where somebody this wealthy is also this powerful politically.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like what are your biggest worries about this, and where do you see this being headed?
I guess I'm just it's the concentration of it, you know? The concentration of all of that money. It's not just him, it's the just this handful, but certainly he's in a position to then determine which federal agencies, survive or don't. These agencies and these institutions that the American people, we've gone through 2 massive wars. We had our Civil War, um, and then but, in terms of world wars, and then wars that, went on forever that shouldn't have. The forever war of Afghan, which is, we're starting to see the price of that now, of having broken these men's brains, and their spirits and their souls, and how dangerous that is as they careen, towards, uh, middle age and responsibilities and not being able to it just not having those resources, because only a few of these fuckers do, right? A handful of them just have everything to get in there and start having not any sense of you know, a society, to the degree to where you're so much wealth and yet refuse to pay taxes, will run away and go live somewhere you don't even want to live, because you don't want any of that that's your own to come back into the community or to society on any level, because no one else should have any of that, and you're going to go in and decide. He gets to go, he's the one that gets to go in and decide whether social security continues,
I I wonder about that because I feel like.
or whether we have educated, let me just finish this,
Oh, yeah, yeah, go ahead.
whether we have the Department of Education, whether we have, um, whether someone like Robert Kennedy Jr. can just run amok in with our food and our drugs that keep us healthy, our clean air and water. Just get rid of all of the agencies that make sure that everyday citizens aren't being poisoned by the kinds of companies that these guys have amassed all this wealth from. They're not, these aren't altruistic people, or they would pay taxes.
Yeah.
So, there's a that they have the power to just say, "Nope, no more public schools. No more public school funding." And literally stop paying teachers and administrators so that on Tuesday, a nation of children won't have a school to go to. Just boop, one morning, it's gone. And how will the society wrestle with all of that? That's to me what how that something like that would just destroy lives, just destroy lives and families and communities with one swoop.